Yo, what's going on, guys? So I'm gonna be doing a little review of today's session. So I was done on my real account. Okay, on all my fundeds over the night. Okay, and if you've seen in my Discord, I've been calling 4144 for a while. If you watched the live stream I posted yesterday, I think I had it marked. I'm not sure. I said I wanted it, but you can see on my Twitter post, right? I called that. So if you want to go to my Twitter, you can kind of see that. Basically, what I'm seeing right now is today. Okay, we took these equal lows, right, in the hourly. Okay, what happens when we take equal lows? We look for long setups. Okay, and it was actually there's a nicer long setup on NQ. So if you go to NQM, right, you want to look for a long setup, right? NQ. Okay, we swept external liquidity as well, and what did we bounce from? We bounced from a 4-hour fair value gap, right? So knowing we hit a 4-hour fair value gap on NQ, okay, knowing we hit a 4-hour fair value gap, right? What does this tell me? We're in a fair value gap on NQ. We hit equal lows on ES. That tells me that we should be looking for a long setup. And if you look at NQ, this kind of went over my head today because this morning I was actually watching the rocket launch, right? This was your confirmation setup. So Judah swing it open to the downside, and then you look to go up. And I think we're going to go back to high day here in a moment. Yeah, we're probably about to hit high day. You can see we're probably about to go back to high day. Yep, there it is. And you really, why do I think that? Well, if you watch my draw on liquidity video, okay, remember what I said about the inversion fair value gaps. Okay, this was a nice 5-minute inversion fair value gap, okay, and it was a bigger one on the 15-minute, and because of the momentum out of this fair value gap, okay, I said nice green candles. I said this on live. This had me interested in hitting this high, right? So that was kind of my interest going into this morning because we broke above this inverse fair value gap, right? And when we do that, you want to see this used as what? Support, right? It's just like support and resistance, except we're using actual fair value gap zones, right? So that was my reasoning for that. And really the two plays that I saw which were nice was this one, okay? First inversion fair value gap we broke over, right? We get a long from this. Okay, you can kind of see it's a little bit of a seek and destroy condition, right? We get this fair value gap, or we get this high. As soon as we go over this high, we dump back to the low. So a little bit of seek and destroy going on, and the reason why that is because of this large overnight move, right? So I wasn't really interested in trading a personal account this morning. I see we did get nice volatility, but I wasn't really interested still. I did take a couple demo plays, which you obviously saw on ESM right here. But does that, and I would say that the A plus setups today, okay, because of the risk reward, I think this was the A plus setup, right? I think this is the only A plus long setup. I think this was more of a B setup, okay. Lots of wiki candles in here, okay. This kind of went a little down more than I liked. We did bounce nice out the sword blocks, but because the risk reward is a little worse up here, this would be the B setup. But this was, I think, the A plus setup for NQ. A lot of choppy price action here. You can see how we kind of get like the power of 3 here. Okay, consolidation. What happens? We go under that consolidation. Okay, if you ever see us go under consolidation like this, what is this usually? It's usually a Judah swing. So you can see we just totally break through this fair value gap again, get this manipulation leg, and as you can see, we just hit high of day, which I call live. Obviously this isn't live anymore, but that was a pretty nice play. So that's really what I saw on NQ. This was also another Judah swing. Okay, what time does this occur? This occurs during the macro time, right? 11:50 to 10 o'clock. Okay, and it was also just a 5-minute fair value gap. So keep in mind this is just a 5-minute fair value gap. If you took this, your stop would have been below this order block. Okay, you never hit it. And then I think NQ, really my target right now is this this gap right here, and then ES, my target is honestly up here, if I'm being honest. So this is my target for ES at the moment. The plays that I tried taking on ES, on which I would have tried to take this one. Okay, I think this was more of a B setup, right? This is more of a B setup. This was a B setup as well. This was an A plus setup to me. Okay, and I'll explain why. So off of open, right? We got our long setup. I think this was a mistake. Oh no, this was just me going really heavy because I knew we were gonna hit these equal lows. Really off of open. Okay, what you want to notice is, what do you see? You see momentum off a 5-minute fair value gap. Okay, what does that tell you? That tells me the draw on liquidity should be up, whether it be this high, and any of these fair value gaps we hit are all good scale spots. Okay, because if your bias is wrong, we're gonna reject one of these hard. They're all good scale spots. So you really want to have scale whenever you make a new high, and then like in this situation, when you make a new high and we bounce off this fair value gap, you're not really targeting this fair value gap. You're just targeting this high. Then maybe scale some. Again, we went back pretty low, which is this is where I covered because I thought we were gonna bounce here. Went back pretty low again, and you can see like we bounced right away. So this setup right here, I would consider probably B. I would consider this the A plus setup because I think if you look at so by the way, look at this. Okay. From this gap I just drew, we're rejecting this gap pretty cleanly right here. Anyways, if you look at this, right, there's an SMT here, an NQNES from this morning. Okay, there's a bullish SMT. I think it was this line. Yeah, I had this line drawn. So right here, okay, what do you notice? ES makes a lower low, NQ makes a higher low. So I was going into this morning being like, okay, I see there's an SMT, bullish SMT, and NQNES. I had this line down marked at 4138, which I said to people, I said, we don't need to hit it now that we take out 4144. I don't care what happens, right? So we take out this 4144 level. We don't need to hit it. And I kind of had it marked just in case we did get a short setup from here. And that's mainly my reasoning for trying that short setup I showed you guys. So this short setup right here, I saw, okay, there's equal lows here and equal lows here. So this is a B setup because this was a setup where we have equal highs here and equal highs here. So because these are 4 and because these are 6, 4 is a pretty significant amount. So this I really consider like gambling because I know both are gonna get hit. I just don't know which order. So both end up hitting, and we hit the high before we actually hit the low, which both end up hitting. Okay, and the reason why I took this is because I said it was good risk reward and low risk, but it was not high probability. I said it's a low probability play, not really good risk, or not really good, not really high probability. It ended up failing, and we hit the highs first. And then as soon as we hit these highs, we hit these equal lows. And I tell people, I say, don't short with equal lows below. And I did a social experiment. I said, okay, watch what happens. I'm going to short here. I'm going to put my stop here. I bet you I'm going to get stopped out. And what happened was this semi worked where we went down here and we end up hitting like the scalp take profit target. So this was the obvious scalp take profit. It was the intermediate term low inside of fair value gap. Those are really good lows to target. And we actually end up hitting the scalp take profit. So I was like, okay, scalpers would take profit here, and this is where the last spot where I think we'd get along is. So I took profit there. Day traders would probably look for this low down here, which never hit. And you can actually see the whole time you're going down here, what do you see? You see equal lows or equal lows or equal highs. Sorry, equal highs here, and then equal highs here. If you want to pause the video and just relook at that, there's 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. So and there's low resistance liquidity. So the whole time while I was in the short, I'm like, okay, they're actually building up a lot of liquidity. We can pump it any time here. And this is the tricky part because I don't know when they're gonna pump it, but I was sure that we were going to pump over this trend line. And what happened was we took this low, we hit my take profit, and then we pumped over. And this is why it's a B setup because you don't really know which order this is going to happen. This could have easily went up here and then back down, but you don't know the order, which is why I don't think it was a great trade, which is why I would consider it a B trade. Again, this is a B trade. This is a B trade because this is low risk but low probability. Really the only A plus setup, which I kind of marked earlier, was this fair value gap down here. I said, okay, this doesn't look bad for long. I said I was not taking because I'm tape reading, and again, this is like if I'm green overnight and I see large expansion, I don't really care what we do during the New York session. I don't think the New York session has been that good, but this was the A plus because this was off of this. So we bounce off this fair value gap, now that we see, okay, momentum out this fair value gap, you look for the confirmation setup, which this is it. Clear fair value gap entry supported by an order block. This was really the entry which made the most sense to me. And I would have just targeted this high. And if I was holding runners past this high, as soon as I see equal lows form, I probably would have gotten out here. I'm not going to lie. As soon as I see these equal lows form in live time. But this is really the only A+ setup. Okay, I would consider this probably the next A+ setup. Okay, the reason why I like this is because we have equal highs above here, right? We have this mini Judah swing down with equal highs, which we create this fair value gap, and a lot of people might be like, oh, this could be used for a short, for an inverse fair value gap. But no, we have equal highs above, so we wouldn't short it, right? So I would consider this an A+ setup because it's this old fair value gap we reclaim, and it's a new fair value gap, right? And third thing, it's an old breaker. So I won't go over there right now, but multiple different things this was. I would consider that the next A+ setup. And again, this is the buy side of the curve. This is the sell side. We're in the buy side. I'll draw these fair value gaps, but I don't really care how we react to them because I'm not shorting from the sell side of the curve. I'm watching live price action, knowing that at the same time we are in bigger time frame fair value gaps. We are in the higher time frame fair value gap. But again, we swept sell side. Would there be any point in taking this short? No, not really. So that's why I watched live price action when under the buy side of the curve. I took the sell side of the curve last night, okay, and I was out. Once we hit liquidity, once we purge liquidity, I don't care about the sell side anymore. So as of right now, this is the buy side. I think we're gonna hit this black line. So far we are holding this fair value gap nicely. We do have some equal lows down here, so again, this is just one of those situations where we could just pump right up here or just go like this and then back up. But again, this is quite high to be longing, in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts from today. It's also 500 fair value gap, as you can see as well. That's my thoughts on today. As long as this holds, we should hit this high right now, actually, okay, because it is a 5-minute fair value gap. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions in my Discord. I would say today was probably better than the other days that we had, in my opinion. So, yeah, let me know if you have any questions in my Discord. Other than that, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.